In your first months on the job, you will inevitably drop a ball or miss a deadline. This initial failure is often the first time a new graduate experiences the shift from being graded on effort to being evaluated on outcome. When an error occurs, your colleagues begin to associate your name with that specific outcome. The way you communicate in the following 24 hours creates the narrative they will use to define your reliability. To manage this narrative, you need a structured way to report progress. The CAR framework, challenge, action, result, functions as a professional protocol for translating a setback into a clear update for your team. Most junior employees react to a mistake by scrambling to patch the immediate symptom. The senior approach involves stepping back to look at the gears of the operation. They aim to restructure the environment so the mistake cannot happen again. Professional value is built on the durability of the systems you leave behind. A single process change that prevents a recurring error provides more long-term utility than a one-time heroic effort. Take a piece of paper and write down one specific recent mistake or missed deadline from your work or academic life. We are going to deconstruct it. We will use the 5 Whys protocol. This linear interrogation technique traces a failure through layers of causality until you reach the initial source. Consider this example. You missed a crucial slide deck deadline for a client meeting. That is the surface-level challenge. Why miss the deadline? Marketing didn't provide the data. Why didn't they provide it? They never replied to your email. Why was the email ignored? You didn't use the official ticketing portal. Why didn't you use the portal? You didn't know it existed. And why didn't you know it existed? Because there was no centralized project kickoff checklist to guide your onboarding. That is the systemic source of the failure. If you stop at level 2 and blame a lack of communication, the same error will likely repeat. Reaching the 5th level reveals exactly which part of the workflow needs to be redesigned. When applying this framework, you must avoid a common trap, using these questions to assign personal blame to a coworker. The objective is to identify a broken process, not a broken person. Systems are adjustable. Individuals are not your responsibility to fix. Now that you have identified the source, you can transition from diagnosing the problem to designing the specific fix required by that 5th level answer. In our example, the action step is clear. You draft and implement a 5-point project kickoff checklist. This document becomes the new standard for every project you start. This new rule is the action in your professional story. By introducing it, you protect your team from repeating this specific error in the future. Now, reformat this exercise back into the CAR Storytime framework for your next management update. State the challenge, a missed deadline. Detail the action, running the 5 Whys and building a checklist. Finally, the result, workflow standardized to prevent delays. Take the mistake you wrote down earlier, run the 5 Whys on it, and determine the system fix before the end of the day. This habit moves you away from simply reporting problems and toward becoming a person who builds structural solutions. Using this protocol consistently allows you to turn high-pressure mistakes into the evidence of your professional stability.